it's Jen, and I'm here today to share with you the layouts that I created using the October kit from Close to My Heart from their Craft with Heart subscription. This is a subscription that you can get monthly, you can get quarterly. I'll leave the link in the video description so you can check out the details if you'd like to. But each month you'll get enough products to create two-page layouts. It comes with page protectors, stickers, everything you need to create two-page layouts, and they outline the layouts for you here. Now what I've decided to do with these kits, you can buy these kits and make them exactly as they are, and it's really simple and easy for you, and it takes, you just, put fun into the process and it takes out the guesswork. But what I've decided to do is to use these kits to help me make my scrapbooking process easier, but still just kind of go with the flow of whatever I feel like creating. So that's what I've done. I've created 3 single page layouts this month, but I wanted to show you what I have left over because I may end up making one more page. So it would equal out to 2 2-page layouts. I'll do 4 single page layouts, but I have not done that yet, but I might create another page, and if I do, I'll probably just share it over on my Instagram, which is also linked below. But I wanted to show you what I have left. So this is the sticker sheet. These actually did not come on here. These were stickers I pulled out as I was creating, but I used most of the sticker sheet. There was a title that said "This is Us," and I just used the word "this" from it, so I can use these on something else. I used some of the butterflies, but not all of them. And then there's some little tabs that kind of look like tags, and I didn't use all of those. I have 2 left, I think. Yes, I didn't use the blue ones. And then this border sticker, which I didn't use either. And then from the die cuts, so all of these little things you just kind of punch out of a die cut piece of paper, and so I didn't use these butterflies, and there are some strips of red that I didn't use. There are some 3x4 cards and a 4x6 card that I did not use. This had a scalloped edge and I cut the scallops off, and then they're placeholders for your photos, which I didn't use those ones. And then there is one paper, or I cut 2 of the papers up, and so these are the leftovers from the papers that I kind of just hacked into, and I'll talk about that more as I show you the layouts that I created. So I definitely have enough to create more layouts if I wanted to. In fact, I could probably somehow put these pieces together to create a full I could maybe just do white, but a full 12x12 paper and then build on top of that. And I may do that, or I could use the yellow. That would be cute too. Anyway, that's another story for another day if I decide to tell it. I'm going to go ahead and move this stuff off to the side, and I'll show you the layouts I created in the order that I created them. So the first thing I did, and I'll keep my paper handy so I can show you where I kind of deviated and what I cut up and stuff like that. But this is the first layout that I created using the kit, and basically what I did was I just used the supplies to help make it easier for myself, but I didn't really pay much attention to the layout at all. Last time I did pay attention to the layout on some of the stuff, but this time I just really disregarded it and just did whatever I felt like doing, although some things are similar. So what I did was I did create kind of similar to this. I did create kind of a grid style layout. I used this piece of paper. I love that it has the splatter already added to it. What I decided to do instead, because this would just have the journaling here and it doesn't have a spot for a title, what I did was I stacked up 2 photos, and they're 2 different photos, but the black and white helps them come together. And I wanted to tell a story about how I miss snuggles with my little baby girl, and she is 12 now, so I don't get snuggle time with her very often, unless she's sick, which is this is a photo of her sick, and then if my nephews come over, sometimes they'll snuggle up with me and watch a movie in my bed, and I love that. So I'm just talking about how I love snuggle time. And what I did here was, you can see on the layout that they show that there is a sticker strip that goes on this side of the layout. I used that strip and I cut it in half, tucked it behind my photo, and I dovetailed, one end was already dovetailed, but I dovetailed the other end so that I could just create this little, like, kind of area for me to cluster some embellishment. And then I did use one of the journaling cards, which is meant to be the journaling on this layout, I used that as my journaling. It did already have this wood grain heart on it, and there's also a die cut that had the wood grain heart on it as well. So I just popped it up over the top of it so you can see it's just the wood on wood there. And then I stamped my best life right there, and that's just from, let's see, that is from the Living My Best Life Day to Day stamp set, D1814. And I just thought snuggles, when I'm having snuggles, I am living my best life. And then, excuse me, you can see that there's this wreath sticker and it says family time. What I ended up doing was cutting this apart and using each element individually, and I did use all of the elements. So on this page, I used the word time that I fussy cut around, and I stamped the word snuggle, and I stamped that with the brushed letters alphabet, that's E1041, and I did that with the Glacier ink, and it was the perfect match to this little wood grain here, and I also used the Glacier ink here for that. I liked adding in the light blue here. Now, these are from the die cut punch, like you punch them out, and I just layered a few up here and a few up here. I hand wrote this, and I used the white photo mat little cards to write this on. So instead of using it as a photo placeholder, because I already had my photos, these are meant for you to put in a place if you're making the layout and you don't have photos right now. But since I did, I just used it to cut up and use for the title, and then I also used it as photo mats for my photos, and I just cut my photo down slightly to be able to mat that. And so the last thing that I did here was these little hearts were white stickers, and I just colored them in using some ruby ink from Close to My Heart, which matched this red flower. So this red was the only pop of red on the layout, and I knew I wanted to bring some up here, so I just colored those little hearts with the ruby ink. And this is super, super simple. This was meant to be a photo mat on, you can see on this 4x6 photo, but I just ended up layering it behind both of my photos, and I really like the way that ended up looking. So that was really simple. I created all of these layouts in a couple of hours, and so it was faster than my normal process usually would be, by using the paper that's already kind of layered and just using these pieces as they are and just finding a way to work them into a layout. So I thought that was fun. All right, the next layout that I created was this one, and you can see some of the elements you'll recognize from the first layout, but it's a little bit different. So what I did was I ended up cutting up this second sheet of pattern paper, and I just only used this part. So this is 6 inches, so I just cut this piece off, and I just used this half of the paper, and I put it on the left hand side, and then I used these little red strips, which were meant to act as kind of a photo mat on these layouts. I just made they were only 8 inches or so, but I just layered them up behind the photo so you can't see where the seam is, and I just made that into a border strip. And then this little border strip that was meant to go on top of this journaling card, I just put it to the side of it. I did use the journaling card for my journaling, and I layered my title on top of it. I used the word this, which was, as I mentioned, part of this title, This Is Us. And I used my last little heart, and I colored it ruby again as the dot to my eye. And then I used my own, these are from Pink Fresh Studio, little puffy letter stickers that kind of match that Glacier color to do the rest of my title. And then I used some of the butterflies and the flowers to kind of tuck in and around to create, this was like a really, really simple layout. This is really simple for me. But what I did was, as I mentioned before, I cut up this family time little wreath, and what I ended up doing was using this part and this part of the wreath that had flowers on it, and I tucked it under here. So this is part of the wreath, and so is this right here. And then the other pieces are die cuts, and some of them I popped up and I tucked a little piece behind this little die cut, which actually, this die cut came from a, let's see, I'm trying to remember what the collection is called. The Boutique compliments, and so that's just a die cut from the Boutique Compliments pack from Close to My Heart. And then I just used the butterflies to accent it. And then because there was this little tiny bit of splatter that was meant to coordinate, if I would have put these two pages next to each other, it looks like it's just right there across the page. I didn't have any more of that splatter going anywhere, so I just used a stamp set that had splatter on it rather than splattering it myself. And I'll show you, I used this last month too. I love this stamp set. Bunches of Love Sentiments, and it has two little splatters on it. I just used that to splatter a little bit more using some black ink so that it kind of carried on down the layout. So really simple, quick, very quick to put together, and that was a fun one too. So, oh, and this is just a piece of gray cardstock. I think it is from Close to My Heart, but I'm not sure. And it's probably the mink or heather color, I'm not sure. But I just used a piece of cardstock from my stash for the background. All right, last layout. This one I really went off on my own and did my own thing for it. But again, using the supplies that I had, it helped me put it together quicker. So this paper, see this paper has like in this picture it looks blue, but it's really a gray textured, like it's a linen texture or a cotton textured print. And what I ended up doing was I cut the wood grain part off of one of the sheets, and then I added it back onto the other one, so it had two parts of the wood grain. I rotated it, and then I put some of the strips that I had cut off of the previous patterned paper, which is this one. I used this strip of the kind of the houndstooth and the green dot. I added that on the diagonal of the wood grain, and then this strip came from this piece of the pattern paper that was meant to be a layer under a photo, and I just cut it apart because there is a join in the middle, and I just cut it up so that you couldn't see it and put the photos on top. So now I've got this interesting border, but half the work was done for me because the design work was done for me because the diagonal part of the wood grain was already thought of, and so that made my decisions a little bit easier. And then because my photos, my nieces and actually my nephew are wearing pink in this photo, I decided to eliminate the red and the blue, and I just decided to go with the green and the yellow, and I added in pink. So I used my own letter stickers here. I cut out that word family, which was the last part of the wreath I hadn't used, so I was happy to be able to use that on several layouts. And then I added in some of my own Puffy stickers and word stickers. A few of these stickers, this one, and all of these kind of craft colored pieces are from Close to My Heart compliments packs that I've had laying around. And then these two little pieces were from, they were meant to be tag borders sticking out, so I did use them for that purpose. And then I added a little pop of pink over here with a sticker from the, what is that called again? The Boutique Compliments that I showed you earlier. So those are the three layouts that I created. Again, I definitely have enough to create one more layout, and if I do, I will be sure to share it on Instagram. I wanted to let you guys know that Close to My Heart will be teaching at Pinners Conference, so if you live in Utah or Arizona and happen to be attending Pinners Conference on either November 2nd in Salt Lake City or November 10th in Arizona, they are teaching a class creating all 8 of these double page layouts for $40, and I have a spot to give away. So if you plan on attending Pinners Conference in either Utah or Arizona, leave me a comment below letting me know where you'll be, and I will give away a spot. So that's coming up here pretty quick, this Friday and then a week from Saturday. So let me know what you think, and here are some pictures of the finished layouts that I created using October's kit. Here are links to a couple other videos you may like. One shows all of the Craft with Heart kits from September through December, and another is a layout I created using the September kit. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you aren't subscribed already, because I post new crafty videos each week. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again very soon.